Hello there and welcome back. Well, it's 6 o'clock, so it's time to launch a brand new one-day special. This time it's the turn of Heartfelt Creations. First one of the decade.
It is, isn't it? Well remembered. I've just lost track of the time. It could be in the middle of the year for all I know.
Oh,
it's
no,
just...
not yet. That'll be here soon, though, don't you worry.
Don't.
Lovely Nikki Hassan with us here because we've got a one-day special. Again, it's a regular slot with Heartfelt Creations.
This is the end of the month, Heartfelt. So what we have is the cottage garden. So do you fancy coming down for a walk?
I fancy the warmth and the sunshine that this is bringing.
Amongst the hydrangeas. Do you like hydrangeas?
Oh yeah, beautiful.
Well, you're going to love this one. As you can see, you've got the gorgeous hydrangea flowers. You've also got the hydrangea shaping mould there as well.
Perfect.
So you can create absolutely stunning three-dimensional flowers. So what you've got is you've got your 24 double-sided paper pad.
Okay, it's kind of the core, isn't it?
It is. That's the core of the collection. Absolutely beautiful. Then you have your 3 die sets and 3 coordinating stamp sets. So as you can see, you've got the window in there, you've got your large hydrangea. These are some really, and I always say this about Heartfelt, they do give us some really good sized stamps,
yeah, huge.
And you know, this hydrangea is absolutely huge, it's absolutely gorgeous. Then you've obviously got your birds there, you've got your smaller blossoms in there as well, but of course then you do have your flower shaping mould all in the one-day special.
You do, and it's a bumper bundle. That is obviously if you want it all, because it's all on your screen there. We will show you those essentials in a few moments, but to be honest, the majority of the way that you get hold of these when we have a new release is through that complete collection. And as we mentioned, the core of it being that paper pad, and you've got so many different designs on here, 24 pages, 2 repeats of each, isn't it?
It is.
Is it 12? Yeah, 24. No, 12 designs, 2 repeats, giving you 24
in
had to
total.
think, all the maths.
12 by 12, and I always say this, and I do really sometimes feel like I'm repeating myself, but it is a paper kit. You know, you have got your panels there, you've got your larger panels there to create your scrapbook layouts. As I say, the matte layering's done for you. You've got sentiments in here. You've got all of the images that you're seeing in here which will follow through with your stamps and dies. You've got just some decorative papers there as well.
Gorgeous
which is
palette
so
of
useful. Yeah, I mean, you know, think of hydrangeas, purples, blues. Absolutely stunning. Then you've got all your smaller panels in there, and of course you've got. Do you know, I think Heartfelt, have they brought out a paper in the last few months without a cottage in it?
I don't know.
I think they've all had cottages. They absolutely work all beautifully together.
Now, what's this page that we've got here, Nikki?
Right, so these are your flowers that you're going to create your 3-dimensional hydrangeas with. Then you've got your window, and then you've got your hydrangeas down the bottom. But all of the dies that are in the one-day special will fit these images.
Love that.
So if you don't want, I mean, just look at these.
Wow.
Look at that. You know, when I said to you, we have that in a stamp. It is huge. I do believe it's 4.75 by 5.75.
Now I'm going to bring this in because it shows the beauty of those blooms. It does.
You know, I mean, you can make them so they are flat, so if you're posting, but if you want to add dimension, if you want to have that wow factor in your cards, you know, you can do it using the flower shaping mould and the stamps and dies that coordinate.
Now you can see I'm holding up the card there where you do get the inspirational page teaching you how to create that fabulous card there using the elements within your complete collection. So if you fancy getting hold of this inspiration sheet, of course, if I give that back to you, Nikki, everything comes to you that we've just been speaking about, the stamps, the dies, the flower shaping mould. You've also got the bag that gives you the ability to store everything in there. It comes beautifully packaged.
It does. So you've got everything in there that you're going to need to create your hydrangea cards, whether it's scrapbooking, whether it's your mini albums, whether it's home decor. You know, the choice is yours, but you've got all the elements here to be able to create anything you like.
But then, of course, once you've used those papers, and I know lots of you do add an extra paper pad in alongside your complete collection. We do have those available. Can bring those details up at the bottom, just £17.99. But of course, once you've used those pages, you have got the stamps. You'll notice that they're exactly the same because the dies are going to cut those out just as they would do from the paper pad. That's why this is one of those sets that you're going to be using for many, many years to come. And the thing is to bear in in mind that those paper pads, they don't necessarily get rolled out over and over again. There's
No,
like
they
one
don't.
print run
At
and that's
some
it.
point, they will retire.
Yeah.
You know, maybe not in 6 months, maybe not in 12
we
months,
don't know,
but at
yeah.
some point. But it's well worth putting another one in your basket, purely because it's a consumable.
And also because you can spread the cost over 3 payments, just as you can with your complete collection. Now, it's been very busy. 20% of the stock has gone. You are saving £25 with this one. £111.92, but spread over 3 payments might make it a little more affordable at £37.31. In fact, if you were thinking about getting the core essentials, which are featuring the 12 by 12 pack and the die and the stamp set, I think that's right, isn't it? Those there.
Yes, so it's including the flowers. So if you're thinking maybe you want the paper pads, you like the idea of doing your 3-dimensional flowers, but you don't want to go for the full collection.
That's
you are
it.
getting the stamp and die to create your 3-dimensional flowers.
Yeah, there you go. So you are going to be able to get those in there. And the key thing is, if you are going for those core essentials, look at the price. Even as a Freedom member, £42.27 is actually more than that first flexi buy to get the whole lot, isn't it? So might as well go for all of it. Now, with a couple of things that we need to do, a couple of housekeeping things. We've got a giveaway, which we're going to announce the winner for in just a few moments. Also, bear in mind, extended delivery with regards to Heartfelt. We're only looking at 10 days, which is really
10 days. That's
down.
because it is a US-based company, and obviously we have to get the orders done over the next 24 hours.
Yep.
We have to get that all processed, then it has to go through customs and shipped over
Just
here.
takes a little time,
so it
that's
just
all.
takes a little bit of time, but what you don't have to do is pay all the shipping, etc.
Exactly, that's
and
a
all
good
the
point.
costs
Yeah.
shipping it over.
Definitely. If you fancy getting hold of yours, then please do so. But there's one person that won't need to, because it's already been chosen. And it's fabulous Celia. Celia Page, congratulations.
Well done.
You have got the most incredible pack to start with and go beyond. I mean, this is amazing.
Yeah. I mean, what I love about Heartfelt is because you have got the stamps and dies that coordinate, you can do all the flowers in, you know, you're kind of more like traditional hydrangea colours, like your blues and your lilacs and your purples, but then you can add other colours and start really kind of working on those colours, making them completely different.
I love a little bit of acetate's been used there to recreate the window pane. Such a clever idea.
You can just make florals with it. I mean, just look at that. Isn't that gorgeous?
Gorgeous. Beautiful colours, lots of pinks and blues.
Yeah, start, you know, because hydrangeas come in many, many colours, you know, and it's just using the colours that you want to work with. This is stunning. I mean, just look at the dimension.
Oh, let me just move that one out of the way. But even that one as well. These are works of art. But equally so, if you want to keep it relatively flat, then you can do.
Of course you can.
My goodness,
and
what
that's
we've got
the
here.
lovely thing about, as I say, with using your stamps and dies.
Yes.
So this is a card.
Oh.
What way does it go? Oh, it's that way. It is that way.
Oh, there you go.
There.
I got it inside out. I do apologise. Look at that.
So you can create stunning cards like this using the window designs that we had a few months ago, the window dies that we launched.
There you go. If you fancy getting hold of those, then 570139 is that all-important item number. Nearly a quarter of the stock has gone of that complete collection. We're as busy as we always are with regards to Heartfelt Creations and a one-day special. But of course, we mentioned the paper pad can be bought on its own. Well, so can the other elements. Do keep an eye, though, because as we say, that flexi-buy payment, spreading the cost over 3 payments, might make it the way of getting hold of everything, because I think when you start getting these elements, you wish perhaps that you'd gone for the full set, because of course you've got the stamps, you've got the dies, you've got all those elements that will just mean that you can really maximise and get the most out of this deal. One day special spread over 3 payments makes it very affordable, and you are saving a whopping great £25. So that's a huge saving for a fabulous collection, which I assure you agree is absolutely beautiful. It's like a breath of fresh air as well, isn't it? All those colours. Cottage theme, floral theme, they really can't go far wrong, can they, with Heartfelt Creations? And of course, it's all about the fabulous demonstrations here at Hochanda, and that's what we're going to kick off with.
Right, so again, this was so difficult. I find it difficult every month with Heartfelt. Where do I start?
Now, when you say difficult, it's that where you start,
where
not
do
that
I
it's
start?
difficult.
What do I show you first? I always find that if we've got the flower shaping mould, I've got to show you the flower shaping mould.
Yeah, because this might be new to some people. We've had lots of new viewers recently.
Yes, we have.
And they might not have come across these.
Yes, so as you know, I do like my 3-dimensional flowers. I used to spend hours and hours forming them, making them with my flower shaping tool, but now Heartfelt have brought us the flower shaping mould. So as you can see, as I'm laying these down, some are shaped and some are flat. Okay, so these have already been through the flower shaping mould, so I'm going to pop those to one side. And I'm going to take all of these ones. So I've already gone ahead and coloured these using the daubers. So easy. I'll just take one and I will show you. Okay, so these are on the show.
Okay, now just to let you know, those daubers, we're going to bring them up. They're always popular. You're getting 12 in a fabulous kind of little stacking tube. £13.99 if you want those. And very quickly as well, don't forget, if you're going for your complete collection, do go for your storage. We are always busy for these, and again, we are today. Storage gives you the ability to keep all of those elements neat and tidy as a collection together. And of course, then you can index them when you get them home, put them on your wall, on your shelf, and you can see straight away the collection that you've got in there, and the whole collection fits in that absolutely beautiful. And at £12.99, definitely add that in alongside your 3 flexi buys, because you'll hardly notice that being added in there, but it will be so useful to have.
So I've just coloured those in using the daubers. I've got some more here, I didn't see all those. Okay, so these haven't been through the flower shaping mould.
Okay, right.
Okay, so now I'm going to take my mould. So your mould will come in 2 parts. Okay, now the only thing you need to think about is the fact that you do need a machine that has got a wide kind of mouth to it.
So for the steel rule dies?
The steel rule dies, you know, sometimes you've got ones with dials on the top so you can alter that, you know, that will go through. I can name 2 that I know it won't go through, and that is the Gemini and the Spellbinder.
And that's purely because they're such thin dies, those ones, wafer thin dies.
Yes, they are. So the Spellbinder Platinum, it will go through. The Sizzix Big Shot, it will go through. The Tim Hol, what's the, is it Vagabond?
Yes, the
Vagabond, it will go through.
In fact, I'm sure that you mentioned to me that if you go onto the Heartfelt Creations website, they actually tell you the machines that you can and can't use.
Yes, we have a full list of machines, but if you just look at the depth of that, that will give you some idea on what I'm talking about when it has to be something, a machine that's got a wide mouth.
So 30% of the stock has gone as a one-day special. We're only 12 minutes in. Wow.
I knew this would be popular.
Yeah.
So in your mould, it comes in 2 parts. Okay, so I'm going to take my flowers. As you can see, there's different size holes or kind of shapes. So I'm going to pop my flowers in, colour side up. You can, if you like, colour the underside. Okay. It's completely up to you.
Now, we've got people watching from America and Europe as well, so it's good to have your company.
Evening.
You can get hold of the one-day special just the same as everybody here in the UK. So if you fancy getting hold of it, if you're a Freedom member, then that price on your screen is delivered to your door. And we do have different ways of becoming Freedom members, whether you're in the UK or in America. Do consider it, because we do have fabulous deals like this that sometimes you can get your hands on before you could do in your own country there. So yeah, it might be worth thinking about it. Details on your screen if you want the complete collection, and of course the storage binder that I touched on a few moments ago at the bottom of the screen. Now you're fitting a lot of flowers in there, Nikki.
There is a lot. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 small ones. And 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 larger ones.
Right,
you
22,
could, if you wanted, you could even add another layer of flowers on top.
Right, okay.
So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to give it a light spritz. This is just water, nothing special in there. It's just water from the tap. And then I'm going to take the second part. So the second part, you have got your feet, 2 on the left-hand side, 1 on the right. And that just, if it's the right way around, if I turn that the right way around, it will fit perfectly.
Lovely.
Okay, it's just going to sit on the top quite nicely, like that, so it doesn't move around when you actually pick it up. So with the Big Shot, I don't need that base plate.
Like the platform,
so
don't need the void,
all I'm taking is the 2 basically cutting plates. Okay. And I'm going to take it through. Now, depending on your machine, you might find that you need a shim. Okay. I do feel that that's gone through quite nicely. So let's just take a look. Very easy, and this is just...
Ooh, okay.
I would actually say I'd like to put a shim through it.
Right.
Because I did feel that that went through quite easy.
And is this where you have to kind of sense whether you're going to need something a little bit more? Can you feel the pressure as you're putting it through?
You can feel the pressure. So if you think about it, the more pressure you've got, the more embossed detail you're going to get from that mould.
So those petals have been squashed between those two plates to give it that impression. And of course, if you've got double the layer of the petals, you might not need the shim.
You might not need it at all. I know my machine at home, I don't need a shim. Even that's going through quite nicely, but I'm quite happy now that that's got enough pressure. I can just about feel it. Okay, so it all depends on your machine. As I say, the other time it would have been probably okay, but I just wanted to show you how that works. So basically, how many did we say?
22 in total.
22 flowers in total.
But if you doubled that up, that would be 44 potentially in one pass.
So easy and so quick. Okay, so I'm going to pop those there. Now, what I find with the hydrangeas, what I like to do is let me just give that. Oh, did I just British you?
No, you're fine.
Sorry,
Didn't get
I haven't got my tissue here, so when the floor manager comes back, if he could bring me some. Oh, just wipe it like that. Just wipe it with my trousers.
Polish the tape.
It's gone. We didn't see that, did we?
You needed Lou with us. She just comes in with a shirt.
Oh, just wipe it with a shirt.
It's terrible.
I perhaps would have done if it was a darker shirt. But so what I like to do now is just take that and just add a little bit more. Okay, so all I've done is press that because.
This is the deluxe flower shaping mould that you've toolkit that you've got here, the shaping kit.
And
this isn't redundant then?
No, it is not redundant at all. Certain flowers and certain designs that I've made, I find that I want to do a little bit more with. Now, it will come apparent the reason why with this one, because I'm actually making a really three-dimensional one. So I want to make them quite tight buds. Okay, so just bringing that in, again, just squeezing that top and just squeezing them together because I want them more, some of them I want buds, some of them I want more open.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm doing a bit of both.
Okay, can I show you this flower shaping set? Because it's a brilliant set. You've got loads of different elements in here. It comes in a fabulous box with a little magnetic clasp there to close it. But when you open it up, you've got the flower shaping pad that Nikki is working with. And then in the recesses here, not only have you got the main tool that you're going to have with your magnetic ends on there for all the different tools that you've got within here, but you've also got a smaller, kind of more dense piece here, which is perfect for when you come to doing things like your leaves. But these heads are all interchangeable, so you'll see that Nikki will use a variety of different tools. They're all included within this set, and it just means that you're going to get the most incredible results. Now, if I close this up and show you the back, it will actually show you all the different tools and give you the purposes that you're going to be using them. So here you can see you've got your tool there, obviously, with the magnetic ends. These literally just snap in. You don't have to untie it, you don't have to screw it or anything with that. They just go in. You can see you've got your piercing tool there. You've also got your different size ball tools going right from 1mm through to 12mm. Huge range there. And you've also got your curler, which it looks very similar to something like a quilling tool. And again, you could use it in that sense. As you work your way down, you'll see it gives you all the instructions on how you can actually work with these. But of course, they're just that finishing touch to take them from beyond that mould that we saw a few moments ago to give even more depth with them. If you'd like yours, just £29.99 is your price. 939-385 for those. These are coming together a treat.
So, as I say, because I wanted some that are kind of quite a lot tighter, so that's one that's actually just come straight out of the flower mould. All I'm doing is doing that. But then some of them I wanted, like this one, a little bit tighter, and that's where you can use your flower shaping tool then just to get that looking as you want it.
Okay.
And do a couple in blue as well, just a little bit tighter. Okay, and as I say, this will all come apparent.
So you could be doing this sat in front of the TV, watching a film with your other half.
This is a great excuse, actually, to get, you know, when us crafters, we're just itching to do something.
Yes.
We don't like sitting doing nothing.
Yeah.
We want to be part of the family.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get a lap tray and just sit and do some flower shaping.
Little tray, as you say, on your lap there with your inks maybe. You might already have them coloured in and just do the shaping.
Yeah, just do the shaping in front of the TV. So that's all my flowers. Okay, so I've got quite a few. I've got some kind of lime green ones, some pink ones, some blue ones. Just pop them to one side.
Wonderful. And of course, it's going to take no time at all to actually create those if you're using the mould, because it's getting them started as well.
It's really easy and quick. And what is also easy and quick is actually adding colour to your actual flowers.
So these are ones that have been used, or should I say stamped and cut out?
Yeah, so these I've stamped and die cut out with the coordinating stamps and dies. This one here, if you look at that one, is from the paper pad. So I kind of sometimes give it a mix and match.
Yes.
Okay, just because you're doing some with stamp that you're stamping doesn't mean you can't use a few from your paper pad.
And using the one from the paper pad's useful because it kind of gives you some inspiration as to where to go darker with those colours.
So you've got a little bit of green in those as well, which is where I got the inspiration for these, look.
Nice.
So I've added a little bit of green in the centre of those. And then all I want to do is just add a slightly darker green on this leaf. As you can see, there's a little bit more depth on that one.
Lovely. The daubers, of course, you're going to get 12 of those daubers if you decide to go for those. With the daubers, is it best to kind of keep certain colours for certain daubers for certain colours, so they're kind of in a group?
So I tend to, so I've got 2 purples on the go there, look.
Okay.
Okay, so a paler one, so I'll use that for maybe 2-3 different shades of purples that I've got.
Okay.
Then I've got a really dark one. And then with my green, I've got the lime green, but then I tend to use one of the tips for the darker green.
That's a good point, actually, because you've got kind of 3 areas and then the base in the middle.
And the base in the middle. And then as well, when they mix together, when you're blending them together, you've got all that colour.
Nice, like that.
So if you're just starting,
$13.99 if you want to know.
so if you are just starting out, you're getting 12 in that first pack.
Yeah.
That's probably 24, if not 36 different colours that you can use from your
just picking up that little bit from your ink pad.
And as far as inks are concerned, at the moment I'm using Distress Oxides. But you can use any really inks that you've got, to be fair.
Fair enough.
I tend to sometimes use my Memento ink, sometimes I use my Distress ink, sometimes I use my archivals. It all depends on the colour that I want.
Yeah. Now I've just very quickly grabbed a card, so if you have just joined us, of course Nikki's been creating those fabulous little blooms that I'm guessing are going to come together in something along the lines of this.
Very similar.
Look how deep that is. That is phenomenal, all created from stamps. That's the thing, you could recreate this over and over again because you've got the stamp, of course, as long as you've got the cardstock, you're cutting those elements out with your die. You could be making these for many, many years to come. And of course, you have got the paper pad, so you could get started using the paper pad ones. But once that is kind of, you used it all up, exhausted it, then that's when you go in with your stamps and you create with stamps.
Or, you know, you may want to create something in a little bit of a different colour.
Good point, yeah.
So
you might want to do monochromatic or something like that, or sepia tones.
Maybe you want to do some embossing, so you want to use your embossing powders. Just remembered that I wanted to add a bit of colour to this. Now, as much as I'm colouring it in, I don't have to spend too much time because you're not actually going to see that much of it when I've finished. I know that sounds silly, but I'm a little bit of a. Are you like that? If you, even though you know that's underneath, you still want it to look half,
exactly.
half good.
You're taking the time, aren't you? So you want it to look right. I was just thinking about. I bet you could use the little tiny blooms that you created there out of your vellums. Would look amazing, or your parchment.
Absolutely gorgeous, wouldn't it? To be honest, I don't think I have. Usually, one of the design team do something in vellum.
Oh, okay.
I can't say that I've seen anything this
I'll
time. Well, not that I've got on the show anyway. So.
It's a funny time of year, though, isn't it, at the moment? So, yeah, obviously.
I think I just got carried away with using the paper because it was just so nice. There we go. So I'm just adding that bit of green. So just a little bit darker green in there with that dauber. Okay, so I've got all my elements now, a few from the paper pad, a few from what I've coloured in myself. Okay, so that's the elements that I'm going to be using. And then I've also using one of the panels. This is really pretty. Again, what Heartfelt do is they've given us the design, they've given us the matte and layering, so I'm not using lots and lots of different paper to create it. So the next thing is we are going to put the card together. Wonderful. Now, shall I step away just while you get yourself organised? Thank you. And I'll be back with you in just a few moments because I need to tell you about that Essentials bundle. Some of you are going for the Essential bundle and that's not a problem. You're going to get the core, which is that paper pack. You're also going to get your stamp set, as you can see there, so you can recreate your elements. And then, of course, you are going to get your flower shaping mould.
You won't get any dies within this one, just bear that in mind. So you'll be doing a lot of fussy cutting with those petals, but over a quarter of the stock has gone of those. Now, Freedom members, you have got a discounted price on this one, bringing it down to £42.27. And naturally, Flextravaganza means you can spread that cost over 2 payments if you so choose. But what I would suggest you consider is going for the complete bundle. The reason being, you'll get all of those elements you were planning on getting, but then you'll get so much more. And it's when you get the extra pieces, which is where you kind of get the extension of that core essential that you get. So you're still going to get the paper pad, 24 pages in there, double-sided. Some of the elements are all perfect, ready for you to cut out the moment they arrive. Then your core essential. So next to that, you can see where you've got your 3 stamps, and then of course you've got your flower shaping mould. But then you've got the additional stamps and dies. So it doesn't matter where we go within this bundle, you know that you've got a gorgeous collection showing those cottage windows there, those fabulous hydrangeas in all the different sizes. It's not just about that though, you can see elements of your birds featuring there. You've also got your sentiments in there, giving you a whole scope of different ways that you can work with these. Now, of course, Nikki is getting herself ready. She's making something that's very dimensional. This is kind of a halfway point. There's lots of dimension featuring in here, but not necessarily completely round like a hydrangea, but very effective, I think you'll agree, like so. But equally so, within here, you've got the beautiful elements. That means you can make something that's pretty much a flat-based card. So whether you're making something that's going to be very kind of wow and a power effect out there, or whether you're making something that's a little more subtle, then you are covered with this. And I love this. Now, this person, is this the same person that every time they put a little ladybird on their finished samples? There's one person that does, and I don't know whether it's a Heartfelt design team member or not, but you can see a little ladybird appearing there. This one's a cute one as well, because look, you've got the gorgeous little lovebirds featuring there, which again are in those stamps. Again, the hydrangeas that you can see here, and again, teaming it with other elements that you may already have in your stash. And what a lovely little idea, little charm featuring at the top there. Really is a bumper bundle, and it has proved to be a very, very popular one-day special. We're not even halfway through the show and a third of the stock has gone, so we can always tell how busy it is by that first hour, and this has been flying out. Lots of you spreading the cost over 3 payments, which of course you would expect with a one-day special, the price point that we're looking at. But even those smaller elements, if you're just going for those, then you can spread the cost of those, because we are in the midst of a Flextravaganza. What does that mean? Well, let me explain.
It's Flextravaganza time, folks! From Wednesday the 1st of January at 9 AM to Wednesday the 8th of January at 6 PM, we would like to offer you our thanks and best wishes for 2020 by bringing you our Flextravaganza event. If you add at least £5 worth of any item to your shopping basket, either online or on the phone, you'll qualify for our Flextravaganza Flexi Basket offers. This means you can spread the cost of the entire order over 2 equal monthly Flexi-Buy payments, offering you a more cost-efficient way of shopping with us. Flexible payments for everyone! Join us from Wednesday the 1st of January to make your shopping experience with Hochanda even easier.
It certainly is, and it's not always going to be available to you, so if there's anything else you need to add into your basket at the same time, might be worth thinking about that as well. How are you getting on, Nikki?
Love it. Right, so I've got all my elements ready. Keep finding flowers popping up everywhere. Okay, so I'm just popping a couple of decorative dies on and my panel. So I'm going to map my panel onto just a white piece of card.
Now, we've had people ordering this set from, and they're over in America.
And that's really nice as well, to think that Heartfelt are actually from America. And I think the reason behind that is one, you've got your FlexiPay.
Well, we've got
you can spread the cost.
And also that discount, it's £25 discount.
It's a good discount.
Good discount, yeah.
And what was the other thing I was thinking as well? And shipping.
Yeah, well, this is it. Freedom members, that's delivered to the door, isn't it, that price? So that first, if you're a Freedom member watching from America, and if you're not, then do check it out on the website. I think it's something like $18.99, something like that a month, is it, I think? Or is that from one order? I can't remember. We'll tell you a bit later on anyway. But yeah, it means that the price on your screen is the price that you are paying. So that means that if you're looking at spreading that cost over 3 payments, that first payment is all that you will make, and everything is sent on its way to you. I love that. I like being a Freedom member because you don't get any surprises, do you, with the post and packing?
And the thing is, I can go 2 or 3 months without not actually ordering.
Okay.
But I always keep it on because in my head, you can guarantee the minute I want to order something, and I did this the other month,
pop up.
It popped up, but by the time I'd sorted it all out, tried to get my Freedom membership back on and everything, it had gone.
Yeah, it happens.
So,
yeah.
and I find that, you know, some months I order lots and lots.
Yes.
Other times, it's something so simple. Sometimes it might only be £10 worth.
But,
I don't have to pay shipping.
Straight after here, we've got a happy hour deal, a happy hour show, and those are the kind of shows as well where you don't want to kind of be scrabbling around trying to get your Freedom membership organised, because you just want to get those savings into your basket straight after. Anyway, we digress.
Right, so I'm going to pop that on there, and as you can see with Heartfelt, they do give us absolutely gorgeous images. So that in itself is a pretty card, isn't it? You've got,
see, that would be fabulous for like a new home. It'd be lovely as a get well soon card.
You've got all your hydrangeas in here, you've got your blues in there. Matte layering's been done for me. I've just matted that on a little bit of white just to get that just a little bit more white in there, because I am adding quite a lot, even though it's a small card. So what I'm doing is, again, using that flower shaping tool, and this is why I've said to you guys time and time again, as much as the flower shaping moulds are amazing, they are going to cut your flower shaping time down by at least half.
Especially when you've got lots of blooms that you need to create.
Flower shaping tool still is needed. So what I'm doing is I'm just going around the edgelet, and that's just bringing up.
It's almost like making a cup.
Exactly, I've just cupped that.
Yeah.
I love the way you've just described that, because that's exactly what that's done. So just adding a little bit of dimension to each of the leaves just brings it to life. Again, just cupping.
And of course that flower shaping mould wouldn't allow you to actually create the shape to these, because it's a different shape. That's why the tool is important.
Exactly. And then I can do I'm just going to do the same just with the leaves of these.
Okay. Of course, you've got different size heads within that particular set. So if you are wanting to do the larger shaping, then you can do. You've got your, up to, was it 12 mil? I think the largest bottle within here.
Huge,
so it's a substantial size
it's
there.
It's a really, really nice size.
And then I think you've got 8 mil then going right the way down to your 1 mil. You've also got your curling tool, which doubles up as a quilling tool, and of course your magnetic kind of holder there. I think that's a clever idea, because you can just literally take those and they just clip in,
pop
don't
them in.
they? Yeah.
And the thing is as well, you've also got your pricking mat at the top. So if you want to do a little bit of pricking, you know, to put some...
That's what that was for. I knew it was more dense for a reason. If you're needing to do your piece detail.
Just a little bit of pricking and your piercing
That's
and what
it.
have you.
And then, of course, you've got the mat that our lovely Nikki is working with. If you fancy all of those, just £29.99. Works out as an extra tenner on top of your flexi buys for your one-day special.
Right, so that's done, basically.
Quick
so
as
now,
that.
Believe it or not, I am going to put the card together.
Lovely.
Okay, so I'm going to just pop these down. I'm going to have this. I did say I was going a little bit over the top.
Oh, I love it when you do.
But not over the top too much. And I'm just going to bring those down there. Okay, so that's the design that I'm going for. So what I'm going to do is I just need to add some dimension. So I'm now just using my foam pads and then just pop that down. So I'm keeping them roughly in that same place so that I know where they're going. Okay, because there's nothing worse than sticking it down and realising actually I've moved that slightly. I'm not quite happy with it. So I'm going to bring that one about there, I think. So with this one, just use my tape pen. And that can go quite flat, but just pull it up slightly. And there was this one as well, wasn't there, at the top there? So again, using my tape pen, just pop that there. Okay, very pretty. I think you will agree, just on its own. But now we're really going to transform it. Okay, so I'm going to pop one more there. This is where this is amazing. So there's so many different ways you can do this. I'm going to do it 2 different ways. So for the pink one, what I'm doing is, you know the foam things that you get with your packaging?
Oh, like packing peanuts and
sometimes,
things.
yeah, and you're probably thinking, oh, not more. Well, they do have their uses.
Well, the thing is, I don't know I'm presuming they're biodegradable, but I don't know. So you might as well use them in another way to get a second use out of them.
So what I'm using now is I'm actually just going to take, because I find this easier now.
Okay.
So I'm going to take one flower, use my sticky dots, and I'm just going to pop that one on the top there.
Okay, right.
So I'm going to keep my hand on there because my nail's just stuck to it. And basically, I'm just going to dome these around,
clever.
which is why I wanted some that were a little bit tighter.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm leaving a few gaps Okay.
Now these little dots, if ever you join us for Good Morning Hochanda or happy hour deals, quite often we'll see they appear during those shows. Those are the perfect opportunity for you to get hold of those consumables like the little dots that Nikki's working with. So do keep an eye open for the schedule for those different event shows that we bring to you. And of course 7 o'clock every single morning, Good Morning Hochanda, you might find these appearing as well. So
you
yeah.
might also find them under brands, under Oakwood Archer.
Oh, I see, right.
I think we had some on the other day.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do now is got my finger.
Sticking yourself to the card.
Okay, so I'm quite happy with the amount of pink, I think. Okay, I might add another pink one there. Now I'm going to go in with some of that lime colour. Now this adds a little bit more depth to it. Okay, so just pop them in there.
And sometimes that kind of limey colour is the colour that they are before they start developing completely.
Yeah. So it kind of gives, I've got my finger stuck again, a little bit more realism.
That's the word.
Is that a word?
It is a word.
It is a word.
Indeed.
I've got a habit of making words up, but yeah. So you can see now, you can really start adding dimension, and it is so easy. And what I've done is I'm using a mixture of the bigger hydrangea flowers and the smaller ones.
Okay.
So I've got that big one there. And it's up to you when you actually stop. And what I do then is, because that foam underneath is kind of, it's got some, you know, you can squash it down, if that makes sense, and make it smaller. You can just keep squashing that to how you're ready to be
and
you know,
just look
at it. Just
look out for the little gaps, isn't it? And just pop another little petal in there.
So I'm going to add another yellow one here, look.
It's a clever
not yellow,
idea
sorry,
using that
green.
foam there to pad it out.
In actual fact, I got the idea. I had a bit of a nose because one of the design team made an amazing one, and I can't remember which one it was. So I kind of did had a peel back to have a look to see what she had used, and she had used that, because the next one, what I did originally was used a couple of these. So I used my flower tape. Okay, but then when I realised actually they cost me nothing because they come in packaging.
That's right. Yes.
And with this one, I'm going to do exactly the same.
See, I'm just wondering about. I had some of those like polystyrene balls. Quite often you get them around Christmas time, don't you? Where the kids are making the sequin decorations
that
and
would be a
things.
good idea.
Well, you could use those almost for these, couldn't you?
So again, same sort of thing. This one's in the blue.
In fact, you could even use pins to go through the centre of the flowers and put them into the polystyrene balls. Yeah,
oh, that'd look nice. You can actually do
have
like
those hanging up like a pomade.
Three-dimensional one.
It's a really useful set, I have to say. You've been loving this one day special. We are so busy. Over a third of the stock has gone. Some lovely finished samples. Can I just bring in another one here, which isn't actually a card, because this one, it's like an MDF plaque, but it's really pretty. I mean, if you've got somebody who has got a substantial birthday, maybe a special birthday, I love the way that you've got the little cottage window there. Now, are you peering in or are you peering out? That's up to you, isn't it? Because you could make it either way around. And then when you look closer, you see the finer detail, like the little birds there sitting on that bough against all of those beautiful foliage. But as I twist this round, you will see that you've got little tags on the back here as well. And of course, they can be cut out directly from the paper pad, because these designs, these style of tags are already pre-designed, ready for you to just snip out, mat and layer and pop onto your project. But isn't that beautiful?
So many
pearls
different
around the edge.
things that you can actually use for this, because I mean it's basically any occasion, isn't it? You know, it could be a birthday, it could be an anniversary, but it's completely up to you. So this one I've done a little bit flatter look, just to show you.
Now, one thing I haven't asked Nikki, and I do know the answer to the question, but I'm going to ask it anyway. If you're looking at selling your projects that you've created, there's not an issue, is there?
No issue whatsoever. You can go ahead and make any amount of cards you like, sell as many as you like, as long as you're physically making something. Okay, look at that.
That's come together really quickly.
Okay, really nice and easy. So then what I'm going to do is just add a few more around that design.
Because you can.
Because I can, because
See,
I've got some flowers
This is where that stamp comes in useful, because if you were using the paper pad, you might be a bit more frugal, because you've only got a couple of sheets of those.
because you're always counting them then, aren't you? Thinking, oh, can I really put any more on there?
Yeah.
And also as well, what I found when I was spending quite a lot of time making all my flowers, I would also be thinking, oh God, I really want to put 3 on there because I've just spent an hour making them.
Yes, yeah.
But using the flower shaping mould,
you'll build up quite a stash of these. Now I'm thinking about other flowers as well, because obviously you've got them as hydrangeas here, but if you were to change the colours out, they'd almost look like cherry blossom.
You can make anything you like with them.
Almost like hyacinths you could make with these if you wanted to.
Different ways of shaping them. It's completely up to you.
It's almost like a little dog rose you could make with them if you wanted to as well.
What I'm going to do now is just take one of those, pop that one there. So these are from the paper pads. So I'm going to separate them up. Okay, so one there, one at the bottom, and then I'm going to use one that I've coloured in. Okay, so that kind of splits that up slightly.
Oh, they work well together like that.
And then I'm going to pop a tag on there. So for that, I want to just add a bit of dimension.
Okay.
So I'm going to just take just one foam pad at the top there, and just pop that there. And then basically, just to bring all that, I felt like it needed something else. It would have been too heavy that side. And then what I'm going to do is, I'm hoping I've got a pink one. Oh, I have. That was lucky. So just add one pink one just there in the middle, and then a couple of blue ones around the side. As I say, it's up to you what colours you use. You may want to do a purple one, you may want to do a lilac one, you may want to just do a white one, you know, and just use white ones and heat emboss them in white embossing powder, and then just bring them down. I mean, it's really up to you when you decide that's it, I've got enough on there.
Wonderful.
I'm kind of quite happy with that.
That's really pretty.
So I like that. I miss you.
They're gorgeous colours.
There you
Look
go.
at that.
Add your glitters, add your pearls in the centre.
Beautiful. Nikki, thank you.
Flower stamens.
Thoroughly enjoyed that. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Now I'm going to do a quick review of things that we've been chatted about. Probably got about 15 minutes left or so. Is that okay?
We'll do another card then.
Perfect. Look forward to it. Website. Oh my goodness, you've got all the individual elements there. You can realise when you see those individual prices just what brilliant value for money it is that you've got with your one day special. Of course, the core of it being the paper pad, and many of you are adding in additional paper pads because of course that is key. It's the only consumable that you've got in the whole of your one day special. So by treating yourself to an extra paper pad, it means that you can take advantage of all those elements. Cut them out, but of course still you've got those stamps, which again you can use those dies to cut them out and go on and using them over and over again. It really is a beautiful one day special. I mean, brilliant value for money, spread over 3 payments, taking advantage of that £25 saving. But I need to inform you that nearly 40% of the stock has gone. Now I've stepped away from Nikki for the next few moments, so if you are contemplating getting hold of this, I would certainly urge you to do so during this little segment. I'm not offended if you don't listen to what I have to say. What I want is for you to make sure that you take advantage of the deal that we're bringing to you. Now we have got the ability obviously to get hold of the paper pad on its own as well, but let me show you the core essentials that you've got, because the core essentials you might be going for the 12 by 12 pad, as you can see there. Just to the side of it you'll see that the reference there of your 3 stamps, so that's part of your essentials, and then your flower shaping mould. So those 3 elements together are forming your core essentials, the details of which are at the bottom of your screen, £46.97. Now of course with that it is included in your complete bundle, so if you were thinking about getting hold of those, you're looking at spending £46.97, which is okay. Freedom members, you've got that discounted down. But whichever way you're getting hold of these, you are going to be paying more than the £37.31, which is your first flexi bite to get hold of everything. Because of course, once you've used those papers from the pad, then the flower mould, you're going to need the stamp, which you've got. Do you really want to be cutting them out individually? No, you'll want the die, which is part of that complete collection. It really does make sense. Brilliant idea. The paper pad, always the core, so do add an extra one of these in for £17.99. Definitely worth it. And in here you'll see all those elements. Now these are the elements similar to the ones that Nikki created, except Nikki created with the stamp, because in the complete collection you're getting the stamp as well. You'll also get the ability to create your own cottage windows. These could be frosty windows in the winter time, they could be spring, summer windows looking out onto a fabulous landscape. Maybe you've got stamps, cut out those little elements with the die and it can be looking through to whatever scene you choose to put outside. side. Then of course you're going to get 2 repeats of those. Each side of these papers you've got a back side to it, if you excuse the expression, and it's equally as pretty as the front. Here again you've got the large blooms, and again you've got those gorgeous little birds sitting on there, and again the background papers. You've got tags, you've got toppers, you've got elements that will allow you to instantly create a 6x6 card, where that 12x12 version has been scaled down, so you're not chopping into a larger piece, you're able to use it in its entirety. Many of the elements that you're working with in here, you will see that you have other elements from your collections. So I know that there'll be tags, there'll be labels, there'll be these little kind of dies available that you've possibly already got in your stash that will allow you to cut those out. But it really is an amazing one-day special, with that being the core. Now the beauty is it all comes fabulously packaged in a bag, and the bag allows you to store everything in there if you're wanting to, but it also gives you a project sheet, and the project sheet will give you the instruction and the tuition for you to create this beautiful card that you can see here. And I have got the original card here which shows you just how gorgeous that is. You could be creating this over and over again if you're going for the complete collection, because of course you will have the stamp that will allow you to create those beautiful blooms you can see there. Makes sense, doesn't it? Now, if you wanted to get hold of this, the details are on your screen. Why not get it delivered to your door with no additional cost by becoming a Freedom member? And if you're not too sure how to do that, we'll be telling about that in a few moments. But if you're wanting this, a 570139 for the complete collection, and you are getting everything you can see there. Well, what's the benefit of becoming a Freedom member? Well, first of all, you don't have to worry about your post and packing. It's all included within that monthly fee. £6.97. You only really need to order a couple of times a month to be able to find that that membership is covered. 88888 being the item number. You're also going to be able to join us from America. So there you go, $19.99 is your monthly membership. You'd be paying just shy of $9 per order. So again, you only need to be placing 2 orders a month to take advantage of that membership. And again, if you are a little closer, perhaps in Europe, then you can get involved as well. You can see there for just shy of €15, then you can get involved as well. And yeah, 1 order, if you're shipping to, as you can see there, maybe you're living in Spain, there you go, €11.99 it would normally cost you for just 1 order. Imagine getting everything, even if it's a huge ream of paper that's got a lot of weight to it, it's included within your monthly membership. Just makes sense, and we use it very regularly, over and over again. I'm probably making on average at least 4 orders a month, and quite often it'll be a couple of things that I've seen that I like the look of in a show, but then it'll be something that I've run out of.
So your core, your essentials.
Yeah, that's it, exactly. Things like my watercolour cardstock, or it might be that I wanted some magnetic sheets or something. And you get those deals, the happy hour deals, definitely worth going for. And it also gives you the ability to add other bits into your basket as well with no additional post and packing. Things like your flower shaping kit, which of course we saw being used a lot in the first demonstration. Details on your screen. These have been popular during this hour because of course it's giving you the ability to create those gorgeous blooms using all those wonderful tools that you've got in there. And as I always say, when we have a brand new collection, if you can stretch to getting yourself a box to store it in, it just means everything is kept in one place. Of course, you can open it up and you've got that fabulous little ring binder in there, which means you can put all your stamps and your dies, everything is in one box, and then of course index it up, sit it on your shelf in your craft room, and you know exactly what you've got in here. That's just $12.99, definitely worth going for.
Whole 7 stamp sets.
Yeah, it's brilliant, isn't it?
And you can put your dies in there as well, so it's brilliant.
Right, so what we're up to, Nikki?
So a little bit more of a simpler card, if that's possible for me.
Okay, right.
It is possible.
Shall I hold you to that?
I can do it. You can hold me to that. So I'm using my stamp platform. You can use your acrylic blocks, but it's purely because I've just got in such a habit now of just carrying this around with me. I don't need to worry about my acrylic blocks. Okay, so I'm just going to stamp that. So if you're new to Heartfelt, taking you back to basically the basics.
Okay.
So for show purposes, I'm going to ink it in black, okay? But what I found was a grey, a nice sepia colour is much nicer, a little bit softer. You could use green, completely up to you, but for show purposes, I wanted to show you how beautifully
just so it stands out.
This
is the thing well, it never fails to stagger me, because whenever we see the detail, you wait till you see the detail from this stamp. I mean, look at that.
Isn't that gorgeous?
Every last little, even when you go into the little tiny petals in the centre, you've got those little kind of lines.
Yeah, all your little dots in there where your shading is as well. So all the hard work's been done for us, okay? So what I'm going to do is just pop that down there.
So is there a die to cut that out?
There is a die.
Oh, I'm so pleased,
How did
because
you
I'd
guess?
lose those curly
So
bits.
For all of the stamps that you've seen on the show, we always have a coordinating die.
Okay.
For 99% of them, okay? I think there's a sentiment in this one that we don't have a die.
Okay.
Okay, and then that just fits over the top. So this is why the stamping is done first and then the die cutting after.
Good tip.
Okay.
So if you're adding colour to this, would you add colour to it? Would you tend to do that before you die cut, or do you find...
Okay, so a lot of crafters actually add their colour first.
Okay.
And they die cut after.
Right.
I prefer to do it the other way
That's
round.
okay,
but
it doesn't matter.
That's my preference. You may find that you want to do some batch stamping, batch colouring, and then you want to die cut everything.
Okay.
You know, maybe you could do all the colouring whilst you're watching TV with the husband, pretending that you're really interested in the football, but yet you're colouring and just pretending to be there, but not. So you can do kind of like batch colouring as well, but I prefer to do it after. It's just a habit that I've got into.
No, that's fine.
And I have tried doing it the other way, but I find that I can add a little bit more depth of colour when I die cut them out.
Yeah, it's like anything, isn't it? It's just whichever way. That's the beauty. It doesn't matter. You get that wonderful result either way.
Oh. So
Oops.
there is that beautiful arch of hydrangeas.
See, this is what I mean about these dies being useful,
So-
because I wouldn't even attempt to cut out that.
You wouldn't.
Especially
It's
those little curly bits
all
at
these
the
little
end.
bits here, look,
Yeah.
it's all cut out. That is one that has been stamped and die cut out. This is one that I've die cut out from the paper pad.
Oh, nice.
So you have got a lot of the elements in there. So you've got quite a few to keep you going. But if you want to add a little bit more colour, if maybe you want to add a slightly different colour. So with this one, I'm going to go in with, actually I'm going to change it. I'm going to go in with broken china.
Okay.
Okay, and a little bit of green there. So I have got some green already on my dauber anyway. Okay, so that hasn't dried up. So that's still got a nice little bit of depth of green on there. So again, really easy, you know.
Very
The
pretty.
detail is already in there for me anyway. And all I'm doing is just going in, adding that colour. And then what I tend to do is once I've got that colour down, then that's when I tend to go in with a little bit more deeper colour. You can see now I'm adding, oh, forgot that leaf there.
And
look.
it's nice because if you're not confident with your colour, you can take inspiration from the one that came from the paper pad.
Exactly. You can see, I mean, that's obviously got a lot more detail in. Angelica from the design team who creates all the paper, she designs it all, cleverly put all the detail in there. So you could use your pencils, use your alcohol markers, you could use your watercoloured pens, completely up to you. But if you just want to add colour and you haven't got a lot of time, using your daubers is just brilliant, because look at that.
Straight away.
Okay,
And it's kind of
straight
gives
away.
that hazy colour as well, doesn't it? So, and it just makes it easy
It
because
does.
you don't have to go think,
And
right,
the
I'm going to go over
reason-
the edges. It doesn't matter.
What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go in with, actually I think I've got some dusty Concord on here. Okay, so I'm just going in with a little bit of that. So I get
They look a bit
hint
like
of
berries as
purple.
well, don't they?
They could be berries, couldn't
If
they?
you want to do them in more
Yeah.
of a raspberry
A
tone or
raspberry
something like
tone.
that, yeah?
Need a little bit more dusty Concord on there. Just add in, so I've now got two-tone, okay? So that's when you can start really taking it to the next level with your own colouring. Okay, so just going to pop those up there.
Wonderful.
My dauber's over there. Say a really nice, easy, quick card. I've already glittered it up.
See, the background's pretty all done for you, isn't it? Because
Yeah.
that's just cut from the 12 by 12.
Exactly. So you've got lots of 6x6s. You have got some script here. Okay, so just make sure you've got that going the right way.
And it's not that you can read it, but you can see it's going horizontal.
Yeah, you would probably look at it about a day or two later and think, that's bugging me now because it's upside down. So then I've got one of my panels. Again, the panels are so useful. So this one hasn't got a lot of matting and layering, it's got a little bit, but already
Pretty.
it's coming together. Again, if you wanted, you could just add a couple of decorative dies.
Lovely. Now we've got a lot of international viewers. I hope you've become Freedom members and taken advantage of these prices that we're bringing to you, because the last thing that you want is to take a £25 saving on a one-day special and then find that pretty much the majority of it pays for your post and packing. Become a Freedom member and then you can see that it's worth its time over and over again during the course of the month, because you are saving on that post and packing. This looks beautiful, Nikki.
And then I'm going to pop my coloured one up there. Again, I'm just going to add a little bit of dimension by just, I say, a really nice, easy, quick card. The only thing is, I dropped one of the flowers, can't find it, so I only have 2 flowers, and you know me, I like to work in odd numbers when it comes to my flowers. But it doesn't matter, so I'm going to pop that up there. Okay, just nice, easy and simple. My sentiment, again, I've already glittered it up, so this was a nice, easy, quick card. And that is just going to go in the middle there, look.
Oh, that's lovely.
Just to show you how
Same
easy
colour palette
and simple it is. And then just taking those glue dots again. But I don't know what I've done with it. It was here, and then the next minute I looked up and I'm seeing there's one there.
There's
one there. There should be one more somewhere floating around, but you'll get the gist of it. I'm not going to...
It's not stuck to your elbow, because that's my favourite trick.
Not stuck to my elbow. I have got some more here. No, it probably is actually saying that. I have got some more, but I don't think these are quite the same colour.
Oh, don't worry.
And, oh, they are actually. So these ones don't have gems in, but I could just add a few more there.
So this is the thing, when you're actually stamping them out and using them, because you can just, you've got an endless supply of them, really.
If you've got a batch of them as well.
Add as many as you like, really.
So again, you can see how just putting those diamantes in there, and then because I've got some more here, I could just add a few more here.
Now don't forget, Nikki's going to be back with us again for our second live hour with a one-day special, 9 o'clock this evening, buddying up with our fabulous Yanis, so you can have a wonderful time.
Nice,
He's going to love these.
Quick card, something completely different to that first one, look.
Isn't that pretty? Really nice design.
Same collection.
Gorgeous. Nikki, thank you so much. Inspirational as always with the one-day specials, and well, every show to be fair. And of course, Heartfelt Creations one-day special, it's a new release. Released here, it takes 10 days with your extended delivery, but this is one of the first places you can get hold of that collection. You're getting everything. The paper pads, you're going to get the stamps, you're going to get the dies, you're also going to get that flower shaping mould and the inspiration and the storage bag, all coming to you with a fabulous £25 discount, but over 40% of the stock has gone. This is the initial hour. For that amount of stock to have gone in an hour, that is amazing. This is going to be a popular one.
It's going to be very, very popular. As I say, Heartfelt have done it again, you know, brought us a beautiful floral collection. What a great start to 2020.
It is, yeah. And it's one of those areas that we love to craft in with our florals. Thank you again, Nikki. We'll see you at 9 o'clock this evening. I will see you just after the break with a happy hour. See you in a moment.